We're on.
All right. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Joy and Sean Share Show. Not like Share the Entertainer, we're sharing ideas, and I hope you're getting something out of these. This is number 9, I think we're on right now. We're just kind of, we're discussing things that, we kind of talk about, and I'm sure if we're going through things, everyone's going through them at some point. But today we want to just kind of talk about when someone says, hey, what do you do? Your 30-second commercial or your elevator speech. And, the information that actually Joy's going to share, some great info, can work for anybody. No, not just for send out cards, but I think we all struggle for that. Do I want to say I'm a card and gifting guy, or, relationship marketing person? So, if you have some great ideas and things that have worked for you on your 30-second, please share them. We would love to hear those as well. So, Joy and I were talking last week, and she went through. It was like a little workshop you did, and it was kind of honing your 30-second commercial. So
yeah, it was just a workshop. One of my women's groups I belong to, they're doing educational pieces every so often, and they invited us to go on a Saturday morning to this, and it was just coffee and connections is what they called it. And I said, well, I'll go, kind of a thing. It was a different than a normal networking group, that you go to. It's more of a civic philanthropy kind of a group, but they were kind of bringing that piece into the organization. Okay. So I kind of went, and the lady that was training it, she's actually gone through John Maxwell's trainings, and she actually has walked away from a corporate job, and now she trains, at a different level, big corporations, small, and that type of thing. So she's got a lot of background on a lot of things and has a lot of great information. So, but it was real interesting. Of all the different ones I've ever gone to and how to do a 30-second commercial and all that kind of stuff, this was like so different. And it resonated with me, and I've actually used it a couple of different times, and I find it to be very, very cool. But I'm sorry I don't have exact name of the course, but I will later try to get that out, on the sites, or reach out to us, and we'll go from there on it. But it's real interesting. People think. In fact, somebody in this group said, well, as we were going around introducing ourselves at first, there was only about 7 or 8 of us there. And a couple people said, oh, Joyce, she's got so many different 30-second commercials. I've heard several of them, and they're all so good. And that gave the other people this perception that, it just rolls off my tongue,
Right.
It's all good. And it doesn't work like
you are that good. Come on.
No. It doesn't. I mean, every time I'm going to a group meeting, I have to really think about what is it I'm going to say.
While you're in the car, what am I going to say today?
Yeah. What am I going to bring to the table, And there's a real difference for a group that meets on a weekly basis like B&I.
Oh, absolutely.
Or a group that you meet once a month.
Yep.
So you've got different things you can't say the same thing every week either. So that's kind of like a whole different thing. But they kind of broke it down. The first thing that they said, well, I want to share with you what my 30-second is first. See if I can get through it the right, without the major practice here. But
take one.
Take one. There you go. Just like these, Sean, right?
Yeah. Action.
I'll record now.
No.
So
if it blacks out for a while, we know she didn't do it right. We're going to start all over again.
Yeah. We might have to start this a couple times. So bear with me on it. So I introduced. I said, hey, I'm Joy Klahanitz. I'm an appreciation specialist. I'm making an impact on the world, and I happen to use a system called Send Out Cards. I say why business owners approach me is because they're worried about where their next referral or whether their customer is going to come from, or that they need that retention and they're worried that they're just not keeping people. They also reach out to me because they know they're frustrated because they know how important relationship marketing is, and they know they need to do things for their clients and customers, but they just don't have the time to get it done. And single moms reach out to me because they're just plain stressed because they want to get a card out, or they want to get even their holiday cards this time of year out, but they can hardly get to the store to get it. Or they get to the store, they get a card, they come home, and then they realize they don't have the stamp, and game over. The card never goes out. I don't know, Send Out Cards can answer all of those questions for you. And I don't know if this relates to you or not, if any of these resonate with you or not. But I'm sure people that it does. And those would be great referrals for me. I'm Joy Klahanitz. I'm an appreciation specialist, and I want to help you make an impact on the world too.
Thanks.
Okay, so it was just, that's that's how, it kind of put together. Now, when you break that down, the first thing that she said was, find out who your audience is. And I know with our profession, it's like we got a big audience. It could be a
Sure.
business owner, it could be a single mom. It's a combination, but find out who that person is first. And then the next segment of it was, okay, we're going to give pop pain words. What is it they say? What are their pain words? And you had to think about that a little bit. And it's like, well, they don't have time. They don't have money. They don't have this, they don't have that. But take it one step further and says, what's a word for that? They're scared because they don't have money. Or they're worried because they don't have time, or they're frustrated, stressed. Those are like key words. And that was a big part of it, is take those key words. And then you take those key words and put them into some kind of vocabulary, into what relates to them. And then you just kind of put that all together. And the interesting part that was hard, and I'd never seen before too, is after you've said all that, and that your business can solve these problems, come back with that. I don't know if this is anybody in this room, or I don't know if this is you or not, and then she said it many times just to stop there. I don't feel comfortable stopping there. And that just didn't flow right for me. So that's why I added, I don't know if this is for you or not, or if any of this resonates with you, but I'm sure people it does.
Right.
So it's kind of like lifting off of their shoulders and thinking different. It's not it's not like, oh, this is you, this is you, this is you.
Right.
So I just thought that was really, and that never go into detail. I know for myself, I always wanted to explain what send out cards is.
Right.
From your laptop, from your computer, you design, you custom, we print stuff, stamp and mail it for you. And you want to leave them with, what is it you do? What is it that I need? I have these problems. I want to see what your solution is. So.
And we talked a little bit about the network marketing part of that right there, because there are so many out there that you don't want to be deceptive. You don't, it's like going back to the Amway days when, hey, I like what you do. You like to grab a cup of coffee? You don't want to mislead somebody to set up a meeting or anything like that. But if they have questions and you're a rebel, you have to add your own at the end, find joy. But no, you're kind of saying, yeah, you're putting those thoughts in their head. Like, I don't have time. Yeah, that does frustrate me. That is me. Why would, yeah. So, no, I love that. I think that's great. And you're right. It would work for any type of business.
Oh yeah.
Depending for what you do. So.
Yeah. And we hear all the time, think about them, what's going to benefit them and that type of thing. And we know that, but you got to get the right language in that, that's going to resonate with them. I think that the real bulk of all of that is the keywords, and you want to put those keywords in your message, frustrated, stressed, worried, and, strong words like that. So, because I know, and I think at the beginning too, I've just changed how I'm branding myself, as you might have picked up. It's appreciation specialist. I'm taking relationship marketing specialist out of there, because I do believe in our world, people don't know what that is yet, I mean,
right. Are you a matchmaker?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You have to.
I help people get together.
You have to add marketing if you're saying the word relationship.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You have to. And then as soon as you add marketing, now they're not even hearing the relation. You know what I mean? So for me, it makes more sense using that kind of terminology,
Okay.
But that's, I found it to be really, really good. I mean, it makes sense. And I did have somebody from that meeting today that I did it, come up to me afterwards. And she did ask, she says, now what's the name of your company again? And I told her, send out cards. She goes, we need to talk,
Perfect.
to set up an appointment.
So it works.
It did work today. Yeah, absolutely.
So name, then you have to come up with something probably without saying send out. I mean, you say your appreciation. Tell me one more time.
Making an impact on the world. I happen to use a system called Send Out.
Send out. So you do mention it within your 30-second, 60-second, but you have to come up with something that, I help people show appreciation, and and then you go into kind of pain points, which we always hear of, Are you frustrated because you don't have time to stay in touch with your clients, or you wish you could get more referrals and you're frustrated because you don't get more referrals? So the kind of the pain points. And then, if this is you or someone, I would love to chat with them, or, that's who I help. So I love those.
Yeah. And I think too, one of the things that I kind of changed around a little bit too, there's a difference between saying business owners say versus business owners approach me because,
right,
or reach out to me because, right. There's a difference in that too, when you're saying it, because, I guess when you say business owners say, it's kind of like, oh yeah, do they or do they not? Are you making
right.
it up? But when
or I work with,
yeah.
Could you incorporate that I've worked with, or I like the approach because
that's another one. Yeah. Yeah.
Because what she's teaching people is you're not trying to get you're trying to attract people.
Right.
By what you say. And
right.
Just like with, we're going to both go through a LinkedIn, how to update your profile. And the person that told me said, you shouldn't have send out cards on there. It should be who you are. And when somebody looks at it, you want somebody to go, I need to meet with Joy. God, even if I don't do business with her, it's probably somebody I should know.
Right.
So I think that's what we want to try to get out of these elevator speeches or 60-second. I want more info. Tell me more.
Right.
What else you got? So how can you help?
Exactly. You want to leave them with something that they want to know more. If you say too much all the way through there, then they're making their decision, before.
I don't need cards and gifts.
Yeah, exactly.
I do cards.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's, and like I say, I found it to be very valuable, light bulb off, kind of moment.
Absolutely.
When I went through it. So, well, Sean, what do you do with you're in BNI, right?
I am not right now.
Okay.
However, I do 2 bigger networking groups in the Columbus area that each have at least 2 to 3 get-togethers a month.
Okay.
And then I'm a sponsor in both, so that gives me the opportunity to do my pitch every time I'm up there. Okay. And I do. I'm like you. What am I going to say today? What's, the coolest part about the groups are all the cards that I've sent, and now people are sharing, hey, I had a realtor, I sent him a card, and you have Myers stores in Pittsburgh, correct? And they have the horses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got on one of
I know what
he got one on one of the horses, and his girlfriend took a picture and posted that on Facebook. Okay. So I sent him a card, and the last one he went to, he goes, so I just want to say something about send out cards. Be careful what you post on Facebook. So now when it's the same thing, when you have other people sharing stories of even though it's cards, I had a couple of people come up afterwards to say, hey, or reach out to me afterwards. Yeah, we need to meet. I need to hear more. How do you do that? What do you do? So, but I'm going to incorporate, we have one Tuesday night at happy hour, and I'm going to incorporate what you just shared. I've kind of got it down, and the pain points, and it's even goes to when you're having a one-on-one with somebody and they say, how can I help you? And you're like, well, somebody can send cards, but you say, I had one yesterday. I said, I can help people, and I've helped people that are frustrated without getting referrals from their clients that don't have the time or think they don't have the time to stay in top of mind with their clients. So I am incorporating those because you shared that last week with me. So I got a head start on it, everybody. So.
Yeah. So, what I was driving at with the different ones you go to, you've got to have something different each time. You've got to have something.
But do you think you do? Or or should it be the same?
Well,
I don't know about BNI every week.
That's what I said. I said if something every week, you do have to be careful. Yeah. I mean, you've got to do something different each time, or not totally different, but you definitely.
Or they're all sleeping when you're doing your.
Or they're just going to zone out whenever Sean stands up. So, okay, now.
Wait, did he say something about clowns? What? You have to keep them on their toes. So, because it is Halloween.
Yeah. Something tells me you'd have no problem putting something fun in there.
No. They listen.
Paying attention.
Or they get called out. So.
Yeah, or get called out. Yeah, that's a good one too. So, but I
think keeping that same, Here's what I do. Here's how'd you say it again? Not what people say, but why people
reach out to me because
reach out to me. Okay.
Mhm.
Because,
Yeah,
and have that in.
reach out to
And
me
then,
because, yeah.
if this is you, I'd love to talk. If you've ever felt this way, feel, felt, found thing, I would love to sit down with you and,
Yeah.
let's see how we can help each other.
Yeah, and yeah, like I say, one of the things when you've reached, send out cards can solve those problems for you. I don't know if this is any of you in the room. You're kind of like giving us like, you're saying it.
It's the takeaway.
Yeah.
It's taken away from them. Well,
Yeah,
yes, it is.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm captivating you, but at the same time, I don't know if it's you or not, but
Sure.
right. Have it out there for you. So, but yeah, it was a great training. Of all the times I've listened to 30 seconds,
Right.
lessons.
How many have we been through?
That one really made sense with me in all these years. So,
Okay.
so I hope that's a good for everybody. I hope you all.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pretty. I mean, it's, pretty simple. I mean, it's kind of, what do you do? Here's why people do it with me. And then if it's something you or somebody else, I would love to chat with them about it. So it's, got to put it in your own words. Or steal Joy's word for word. Just don't use her name. You put your name in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just literally on your own, sheet of paper, your target audience, and then what are the pain points of that target audience? Right. What is it you hear from them? What is it that what is it that's, what do they say to you? And at first you kind of like, don't really, it's kind of like, well, they don't have enough time. Well, what does not having enough time mean?
Right.
Are they frustrated, strict? I mean, you could just start getting your own words in line.
Yeah, and I think with ours is, I always kind of use, everybody's out this way looking for the next deal. Mm-hmm. Whatever most people, they're hunters, not farmers, and we've all heard that phrase. Mm-hmm. But we have this network behind us, and if we are taking care of them, and that's just not for send out. It's every business you're in. If you have your network and you take care of them and you make sure that you're showing appreciation to them, staying top of mind, it will drive business their way. So It's just our job to get that, smack it in their head. So
just get them to want us, get
Absolutely.
them to want you, to at least talk with you, and it's not about telling them everything up front.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So
no puking on them.
No puking.
I do cards and gifts and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And they walk away from
it. Yeah. And, and actually, I've always felt like I don't puke on it, but then there's that middle that I said too much. And now it's like, don't say too much, just kind of like, I have them ask you more. So much more fun when somebody comes to you and said, I need to talk to you.
Well, and then you're not, then what the one-on-one's going to be or the appointment's going to be, and they do want to see it, and there is some interest there, and you're not trying to talk somebody into something.
Right. Right.
Let me show you, and then, get in the follow-up help.
Yeah, you decide. So Awesome.
Perfect.
Okay, well, I guess we're a wrap here today.
Yeah.
We really appreciate
You were right to the point today.
Yeah, we were right on there today. So, hey, just a little cap for all of you out there. Sean and I have our own YouTube channels out there, so you can find us on YouTube and use this video and training for your business if you want to. Right. So, we'll see you next week.
And if you haven't signed up for Atlanta, if you're east of the Mississippi, you should be there, which is November 16th. Because this is going to be the last one until Joy and I hold Greg and Cody hostage that they come this way. They will. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that could take us about a year.
Yeah, we got it. So, okay, everybody.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
Take care.